Okay, okay. Okay, boys, let's do this. Alright, so just give me a second. I'm trying not to use the pop-out chat right now because that always seems to make my live stream hate me. So I'm gonna do this how I used to do it, which was I would here we go, make sure that's dead. We're gonna set my phone up and use that to watch the chat. If there ever is any chat at any point whatsoever. You know, just good old-fashioned streaming for no one. Alright. Let's get off that. Oh my god, Microsoft! Hold up. Go back. Just give me a moment. Fix my earbuds. And then I can actually start. Alright, so you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and just start brand new with this. If anyone would like to join me. Probably not, though, because this is not like a super well-known game. It's like a halfway well-known game. But can you even hear me? I'm sorry, that number's wrong. No way. Alright, YouTube, you need to be honest about how many subscribers I have. How do I look at that? I need to know how many actual subscribers I have. Because if I actually hit YouTube Studio is something I gotta install. No, thank you. Did I seriously hit 1,500? Dude, no. Dude, no, I just saw that. Dude, no. No way. Are you for reals right now? Oh my god, if y'all could see my face. Yo. Yo, I just realized while I'm like starting this that I'm about to do this stream and I reached 1,500. What? YouTube? Is this a mistake? Y'all, I'm smiling so much right now. Yo! Okay, so this just became a celebration. Cause like, no way, man. 1,500. Like, I know that's not a huge number, but like, for channels that like, I just didn't, like, I never expected to be big at like all, like in any way, shape, or form. Y'all. And oh my god, that just, oh my god, I'm smiling so much right now. Okay, so we're gonna play Seduce Me the Otome. which is a game by the lovely Michaela Laws. And I've played it before. I've gotten one of the boys. I've gotten one of the endings. But I think the goal here is to go through all of them. And I'm not sure who I'm going to choose next, but I think it's either going to be Shy Boy or Fluffy Boy. Each of the boys had a name. I don't remember what it was. So anyways. My phone fall. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and get this started, because there's at least 2 of you here right now. Or at least 1. At the very least. So we're going to get this started before y'all get bored and run away. But yeah, seduce me the Otome. So let's go. I gotta stop talking and just do it. Oh my god. This is a fictional... I'm not gonna read that. No. Oh. Yeah, trigger warnings. Abuse. Oh, bad stuff. But I've already marked it as not for kids, so we're good. Not for children.
Why, hello. Aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
I love Chris. He's my favorite. His voice makes me smile. He's awesome. I love him. If my setup would stop trying to destroy my wall... Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Things are trying to break. Sorry, things are trying to break. Things you cannot see. Okay. I think this time we're gonna go with something very lovely. I think we're going to go with Lillian. I don't know why. I just feel like she needs to be a Lillian this time. Most YouTubers who play games like this, they'll go with their like actual names or like their YouTube names. I'm not that basic. I gotta come up with a new name every time I play this game.
A lovely name for a lovely person like you.
I love it. I love it. Ugh, I'd have my webcam on, but my webcam always slows down the stream like nobody's business. So, yeah.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Ren'Py Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
That's so cute.
Eric.
I'm a freaking sucker for that kind of thing.
Fine, fine. Farewell, my sweet.
My sister's probably gonna come in here and make fun of me for talking to myself, but I never have time to stream. Somewhere. The first time this happened, I was not expecting that. And I screamed. I think I screamed. I'm not sure, but I was not expecting that sound. And it scared the crap out of me.
Come on. Is that all you got? Wanna try me, asshole? Crap. Missed. Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks. Stay out of our territory.
Call it fate, or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers.
Sorry, I want you guys to be able to hear me, and I don't think you can unless my mic is like right here. Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I loved the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, like the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Miss Phillips' voice wasn't so prolific, but I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments as I had to. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. High school at its finest. Literally everyone feels this way. Like, the only reason I took gym and health class in high school was because they required it, and, like, they didn't even teach me anything. And now my school has a walking class that you can take for your PE, your period. Like, I'm sorry, why is this required again? Why are you required? Listen. Just, why don't you just give high schoolers recess if you're just gonna make... Like, it was pointless. And health class, don't even get me started on that, because that, while I see why it's important, did not give me anything I needed to know. But I digress. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. Yeah, but it also means the beginning of lots of anxiety and choices and other things. Yeesh. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on as if there were no end to it. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them, but that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to the many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting some... I'm going to restart that sentence because that was bad. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometime in the next few months. It seemed like the start of something new. Something that would change. That is, if things could change. I started at the faint outline of raindrops. I stared. I don't know why I started. I don't know why that popped into my brain. Anyways, I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class.
Miss Anderson.
Miss Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula. Sorry, I don't know why that was difficult for me to say. I don't know why. Hang on. The Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson family toys. And because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick-ass girl.
From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words.
She means good job. Miss Kipkini.
I love that.
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named
frickin' ship the crap out of those two best friends. Like, they're so cute. They'd be so cute together. I want them, like, ugh, they'd be so cute.
Sure. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi... I called her Mayomi. Whoops. Bit. Hang on. That's a little loud. Okay. I don't want it off. Alright. Alright, it's good. It's good. It's as quiet as I can get it. Okay. Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teachers let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was a sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity to stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it open onto the 3 desks. Phone. It's very hard to see. Okay. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Suzu straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name? Huh? Did we really skip over that?
Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
Not sure. What do you think?
I like Trinity
Oops.
Corporations.
I hate it when I accidentally press too hard and it skips 2 seeds. I'm like, no!
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubble gum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubble gum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly, even though I wasn't quite sure myself. I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say... I usually like to pick the second one, just because Suzu's kind of right. That is pretty awesome. But also, this one is more sensical. But I'm gonna go with Suzu.
Booyah! Dragon Company it is!
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Huh? Who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in school. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them. And the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and, above all, had her future laid right out in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and, as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but why can't I get this out? Ugh. Okay, I want to restart. Hold on. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued this day. You know what? It's resulted in a rivalry, because that's too many R's. No, it's not, but yeah. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time. Let's bail.
Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
Okay. She gave me a smile, as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
God damn it, it's my fucking sister. Hold up. Ashley! Damn it! Hold up. I might have to quit. Hold up. Ah, I thought she was complaining, but it were to ask about pizza. False alarm.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
I like that line. It's a good line.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit, I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength, both of
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. Never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst out into laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool. Or maybe they're best friends because they need to be together. Opposites attract. I shipped them way too hard.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Not me. Gotta be honest. I would not buy spicy bubblegum. However, I think I know a few people who would. My dad being one of them. He likes spicy things.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and a spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with mac and cheese. I will always choose mac and cheese. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
All right then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
That's because you secretly like Naomi. I will... I'm never gonna shut up about that, I'm sorry.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
Pizza time, pizza time. Okay, not pizza time yet, but pizza. I like pizza.
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
Or she could be bipolar. I'm just saying. That's the wrong... I meant bisexual, and I said bipolar, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe that just happened. Oh my god, I wish you could see my face. Oh my god. Oh, that was so dumb. Oh, that was so dumb. That was dumb. That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it wasn't really about wanting a relationship, but more if there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I was finally able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related. That's a lot to say in one sentence. Hold on. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my seeping... I keep messing up, and this is what happens when you don't read stuff out loud forever, which is why I need to do more streams like this, because it'll help me in the future if I want to be a real voice actor. I am a real voice actor. If I want to be a professional, is what I should say. Anyways, his face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I keep wanting to say sweeping, and I don't know why. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate? At 18? That was impossible. And yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No, it is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
This guy. Yeesh. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate, Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
Honestly, if my parents said this to me, like I was gifted a house and all that jazz, I'd have been like, are you crazy? Excuse me? I'm not ready to live by myself at 18. Like this would not have flown with me. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
And what kind of a father talks about his daughter like that? Like, just... Ugh. Just ugh. Like, even later on in the game, he's just unforgivable, really.
David.
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. My sister is texting me again. Ah, jeez. It's so hard to want to do a stream when you know there's only 2 people showing up for it. But I've got to do something to keep this channel alive. I wish more people would play this game. It's honestly a really good game. And I wish I could see some bigger channels playing it. But it's also different from usual, I feel like usual RPG games, where they either give you kind of like a non-gendered or even male persona. And so a lot of the bigger channels that you'd see playing games, well, and I guess it's also a bit more of a darker game, so it is probably hard for the bigger channels to play it. But also, I feel like they could. Anyways, it's a good game. I recommend playing it. It's fun. I like it. I'm gonna continue now because, yeah. Oh, hello! A Rose misfiring. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Okay. I'm sorry. I make random noises when I'm nervous, and it's been a long... Well, not a long time since I've streamed, but a long time since I played an RPG game, and I'm also playing it without my webcam, which the last time I played it with the webcam, so it's really hard for me to, the webcam provides a challenge in of itself, but, without the webcam, I feel like it's kind of harder for me to play these games because you don't get the facial reactions, you just get my voice, and I feel like people find that to be a little bit boring. But if I add my webcam to this stream will probably die. I might go ahead and do it anyways. We'll see. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. He told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes! Ooh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course! He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa. Ah! I skipped voiceover lines. No! My apologies. Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me at eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to... Oh, that's not the child me, that's the adult me, and the adult me needs the adult. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
I just need to make sure.
Your friends at school. Me.
I just need to make sure. Okay. Alright, everyone can hear me. And also they can hear the echo from that. Sorry. I just needed to make sure people could hear me before they, you know, because, like, I feel like they dip out.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise! Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
Alright then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't
Excuse me.
accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions. Especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into these states so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
Hello, Blaze the Cat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming.
But what if...
Stop mumbling.
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
I keep hoping that my sister and her boyfriend are going to be, like, not in their room for the next part. Because it gets loud. And I get loud. And I get into it. But I'm a voice actor. It's to be expected. She knows I'm streaming. It's just awkward. Okay. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seemed fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. Just like you... Sorry. It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna do it. What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms and erupted in angry laughter.
You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? A flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut!
Yeah, this man needs to get slapped.
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
I'm just saying. He's a character in a video game, but sometimes even characters in video games need to be slapped. Just like characters in movies. Sometimes they need to get slapped. And characters in everything. Sometimes you just feel like backhand them. You know, just a little bit of a slap across the face, and maybe some sense would be brought into their heads. Is it just me? Am I the only one who thinks like that? I do not think so. I get too into things, and then you get weird stuff.
Is everything alright? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
These character animations are fan-frickin-tastic, by the way. Like, the character art is... Oh, mwah! I love it. I love it. It's beautiful, and I love it so much. It's so pretty. I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. That does not work. I've tried it. Okay, it sort of works, but like, it does not work. Why do people always say that like it works? Like, I've tried. Like, I try blinking my eyes, and it does not work. You still cry. If you're gonna cry, you will cry. It's very difficult. It is very difficult to actually hold back tears. Like, if they've actually already formed, it's like, no. There's nothing you can do to stop that. There's nothing. They're gonna drop. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Now, if you just feel like crying and you feel it's like, oh, it's coming, you can stop that. But if they're already, like, right there, it's, Anyways. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you alright? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though, and I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah. Don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. There's a lot of purple in this game. She has so much purple in that bedroom. It's actually a really nice looking bedroom. I like it. It's so clean. My room is not that clean. I wish it could be that clean. It probably could, but I'm, well, lazy. So. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. Sorry, I had something weird happen, and yeah. That was a weird sound. Anyways. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags. Pulling them out onto the floor of my room, I then began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all of my things with me. I didn't have much to bring, other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. Oh, I think pizza's almost here, so we're gonna probably finish this section and then we'll end the stream, okay? It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. I love this song. I actually use it as my alarm to wake me up in the mornings, because it's so loud. The first time that thing played, I jumped out of my seat just about, because it was so loud and unexpected. Just as I was packing my things, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there? Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call. Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course. We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn.
Well,
Right, Suzu?
pizza's here, so we gotta end this soon.
Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple Threat Trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
Yeah. I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
What's with you and naming things?
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind the cool kids like Anderson and me. Tisk tisk.
Hey! I'm a cool kid. If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
I love the voice acting for this. It's amazing. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. And that might be where we have to end it, folks. Sorry. I really want to get to the end of this chapter, but also pizza's here. Hold on. We all agreed that the actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I do have to say I prefer Jatson, and as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m.? Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Ah, a nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad to finally be in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably would make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. I reached out to the lamp on my nightstand to turn off the lights. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. Alright, and that's where we're gonna have to end it. We're just gonna save over this first one. Alright. Alright, thank you all so much for joining me for this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that, we couldn't quite finish the first chapter, but it's very, very long. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for helping me to reach 1,500 subscribers. It really means the world to me. I gotta go, but real quick, if you could just do me a favor, check out the description of this stream. I've got some links to some projects there that I'm a part of, channels that I do voice work for that could really use a boost, and if you could just go check those out, it would really mean the world to me. And again, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next stream, which hopefully will be sooner rather than, later. Anyways, guys, thanks again so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.